Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Yes, this is Philly, and this is Everyday Bullshit. So, what is going on, all my beautiful podcast peeps? Yeah, man, what a crazy week it's been, huh? It's been pretty freaking awesome. So, do you know that we are not alone? That is correct. We are not alone in this universe anymore. Oh, yeah. The whistleblower has spoken. The testimonies were given. And yes, shit went down this week on Capitol Hill, Congress. Yeah, man. So Grush stepped up, the whistleblower, along with two other eyewitness and heavy hitters, man. And all-out bombshells have been dropped. Yeah, they've been dropped, man. So shit is out and about now, which I'm super stoked for because, honestly, I am a true believer. I'm not a crazy UFO this, UFO UAPs here, UAPs there, and all this shit. No, I'm not like that. But do I believe? Yeah, I believe. There's no way in the freaking world, man, that we are the only ones left in the universe. There's no way, man. We're the only ones here in the universe. There can't be. No, there's other intelligent life forms out there, and we just have to get to them. Now, the shit that was dropped, the bombshells, government has on hand, and this is the testimonies that we do have in our own facilities, have non-biological humans. Yes, we have recovered non-biologicals, according to the testimonies, and we do have spacecraft. We do have craft that was recovered. Yeah, they have these. And I know they have these, man. Come on now. I mean, everybody talks about this stuff, but according to some of the documentation and some of the testimony, this shit goes back to the 30s, man. Not just, the Roswell incident and, and all that stuff, Area 51 and whatnot, but this shit has been around since the 30s. And, it opens my eyes up a little bit more with these guys coming forward and doing this, because I believe in this stuff, and I think there is shit happening. And Commander, I believe his name is Commander, how do you pronounce it? Commander Favor, almost like favor. It's Farvor, Commander David Favor. He is I believe he was a Navy pilot who encountered, along with other, I think he said it was like a total of 6 of them, and 4 sets of eyes captured this while they were out there over the water and stuff like that. And this thing is like zigzagging back and forth, up and down, side to side. But I mean, it was a tic-tac looking vessel that they encountered, and the movement and the way that this thing shot, just like that, this commander testified that we have no technology like that. There's no way that we have that in our arsenal of aircraft and whatnot. So the shit is real, man. And these guys have full blown the radar stuff from seeing this shit going down. And it was so funny because he had mentioned, he's like, holy shit, man, did you see that? He's like, he's like, dude, I'd love to fly that thing. And dude, yeah, man, that'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty freaking dope. But yeah, I don't see how any of us can not believe anymore. I mean, so you've got Graves, who was a pilot who encountered a UAP. I mean, you have, Farvor, Commander Farvor, who did this, and then you have Grush, who was Air Force and also intelligence, man. So, I know they asked him all kinds of bombshell questions, man. Like, are you in fear for your life? And he pretty much said, yeah, man, he's been threatened. I mean, he's been harmed physically, emotionally, mentally, threatened, man, like by government officials and shit like that, man. So yeah, it's fucking nuts. It's nuts. It's just like I don't know if you guys ever. Okay, so Bob Lazar. Have you guys read about him or heard about him? Bob Lazar. There's a documentary on Netflix on him, and it's put out by Jeremy Corbell. Jeremy's a badass dude too. Great document, movie that he did on Bob Lazar. So Bob Lazar in his 20s worked in New Mexico, and he worked in a facility. Something 54, not Area 51, but 54. I believe it was like something like 15, 20 miles down the road from what they said was Area 51. But he has personally, said that he has seen this type of craft. He's touched one. I mean, he said in some of his documents and his interviews, he's taken his hand and slid it across one of these vessels. And at one point in time, he was there. The bay doors in front of the mountains were all open, and you can look down, and there's just a line of and there's more than one. Oh yeah, there's more than one. He said there was something like maybe 9. So, dude, 9 alien craft vessels out there. That's pretty freaking dope, man. Like, holy shit. Like, and I mean, he goes into depth and detail on some of this shit. So if you guys get a chance, check out that. I believe it's Bob Lazar, UFOs, something like that, Area 51 on Netflix. So, but check it out, man. It's pretty dope and pretty interesting. Like I said, I'm a big believer. Like I said, I'm not going crazy overboard with all this shit. I know I get into these little binge watching things where I'll jump on and binge watch different documentaries, conspiracies, and stuff like that. But I'm a believer. There's no way in hell that we are the only ones in the universe. It's impossible. It can't be. And I believe, yeah, we have, non-biological humans visiting us. So I don't know, the encounters that are coming forward, and there are tons of them, man. I mean, there's so much documentation out there that you could look up, and I mean, this shit goes way back, man. Like, yeah, dude, like the tons of documentation on this shit happening on the planet and everything. And it's not just here in the States, but in other parts of the world as well. I know there's a big amount that happens on the East Coast and a lot on the West Coast, but these things possibly coming up and out of water and coming across some, Arizona, New Mexico, New York, up in the sky. I mean, just all over. And they come in different waves and different patterns. Some of the testimonies, they talk about how some of these things have been here since the 30s. So, but yeah, man, like, you gotta, if you get a chance, watch the testimonies. They're all over YouTube right now. The whistleblower, the UFOs and stuff like that. It is freaking amazing. But Grush, he did an interview with the journalist and told some stuff, but there are a bunch of things that he just can't touch on because of some, he's not allowed, basically, so they took away. Okay, so during Congress, when he wasn't allowed to speak about certain things, out and about. So they mentioned, if they brought him to a skiff and he can explain everything. So basically what a skiff is it's like a pretty much locked down room. Nobody but this and this, and nobody else can hear. You can't see, all this shit. But so Congress was actually denied a skiff for this stuff. So there's some messed up shit going on. But you got to listen to it and then check out some of the reports that are happening from this. But yeah, it's crazy because it's about time. It really is. But Jeremy Corbell, he's the one who did the Bob Lazar thing, and he's a big advocate for UFOs and helping these guys come forward with their shit. And he was there. He was in the back row behind the guys during the testimonies and stuff like that. But he's done some interviews. But Jeremy's excited about all this because these bombshells that are being dropped at Congress on this shit, man. It's time to open up some eyes, where the funding went, how it got there, and how they're sneaking the funding and using it in this and that. What was that? Independence Day. He's like, you don't think that we pay $40,000 for a toilet and $50,000 for a hammer, do you? So where the fuck is the funding coming from on a lot of this shit? But yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm a believer, and you guys out there listening, you tell me, are you guys hardcore into this? Are you a believer? Are you, I wouldn't say a skeptic, but I mean, let me know, man. Shoot me an email, everydaybs2023@gmail.com, and I'll answer some questions. Or you can leave a comment. I am actually videoing this. So if you guys are listening or watching, I decided to jump on the bandwagon with the video and at the same time with the podcast. So I will be posting this up to YouTube on my channel and things like that. So if you want to leave a comment, hit the like and subscribe button as well. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe button for the notifications for when more videos and podcasts do drop. So like I said before, leave me a comment. I'll get back to you. And I'll give you a name drop, man, on the next episode of the cast as well. So, but as for space, yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm super excited. Elon Musk I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, and I'm super stoked because, I live in Florida, and I'm only a hop, skip, and a jump from the Cape. So, you could stand out in my backyard and watch all the rocket launches and everything like that. So it's pretty cool. And I've seen some really cool ones at night when the sky's super crystal clear, and when these rockets, man, are just shooting up in the sky, you could see the atmosphere coming. It's pretty dope, man. But I'm excited for, the Starship. I want to see us touch base on the moon. I want to see us touch base on Mars. I want to see us colonize Mars. And the sad part is, I'm almost 50. Am I going to be around for a lot of this? Probably not. But my kids will, and my kids are younger and stuff like that. So I really hope they get to see, the advances in our technology and the things that we're going to have to get us to where we got to go with Mars. So I'm stoked on that as well. But holy shit, man. Yeah. Can you imagine just like having a base on the moon? How cool would that be? So, what do they say? It takes like, 2 days, 3 days to get to the moon from Earth, so we shoot off from the Cape or whatnot. And then we're just coasting along for 3 days, and then we land on the moon, and then we end up building a badass base on there, and that would be cool shit. And then having a spot to where we can launch from on the moon to get to Mars. So that's pretty dope, man. One of these days, man, I think we are going to catch up a little bit better on certain things, and we'll start producing shit in space, like they, I'm a nerd, man. I'm a freaking nerd. I love Star Trek, how they do like, building of the starships for Enterprise and stuff like that in the shows and everything. Can you imagine us building a facility that's in space like that, and then just having materials and 3D printers just, coming together and building all this shit and putting it all together with those giant robotic arms and shit, man, like a freaking car manufacturer in space, man, just welding and doing all this shit together. Yeah, that would be dope, man. Like man, holy shit, that would be so cool. But being able to get to that point, I think is going to be freaking awesome. And I'm super ecstatic and super stoked because I look forward to it. I really want to see that starship, man, just take off and just, man, break the atmosphere, get into space, and just cruise. Like I said, I watch a lot of these documentaries, and okay, so this is how we're going to go to Mars. So apparently, like they were saying how Elon would have to send off ship after ship after ship after ship, and just send like a fleet of them and get those to Mars first, and then you shoot your people out. So these things are already on the planet. Things are already coming off robotic wise, helping out, getting containers set up and shit like that for us as a facility for us to stay in, and then looking for all the shit. But I think that is going to be dope. But also building that base on the moon, being able to get from the moon to Mars and whatnot is going to be awesome, I think. And it's not far at all. I would say maybe 10 years we can start doing that. What do you guys think? You think it's possible? I don't know. Everybody, anything and everything's possible. But yeah, man, it'd be dope as shit, But could you imagine though, just like the possibilities after all this shit being said and done, that with the testimonies and everything and the whistleblower saying what we have in our possession, which is non-biologicals, we have in our possession recovered spacecraft, and from the very beginning, since 1930s, but and the technology and some of the ideas that we have gained from this, it will be sick. Now, I don't know if we are able to copy any of that, because, you think about it, we're using a push force to get off Earth. So we're using fuel and a rocket in the ground, and it's pushing us off and it's getting us out there. But according to the documents and some of these guys' testimonies, the propulsion system that these aircraft have, man, they're just like, they're at certain altitudes and heights to where it's hurricane forced winds blowing across, and these things are just standing still with no sway, no up and down or anything like that, and then they're gone just like that in a blink of an eye. It's crazy. But can you imagine when we get that shit? Holy shit, man. Yeah, man. But I think, what did he say? He said that when he so when the Commander Favar was in his jet, during the radar thing, like they broke it down to like these anomalies, these tic tacs were cruising like 0.0 Mach to like 1.4 like supersonic, and they were gone. And when they got to it, it took off, it was gone. But in less than 60 seconds, it appeared 60 miles back to where they were heading back to, and it was already there. So imagine having that propulsion system on the shit that we, invent and come up with. Man, holy crap. It'd be dope. It would be dope, man. Some X-Wing fighters. You got to break out that, man. Can you imagine that? So having some X-Wings, a little couple TIE fighters and shit like that. Oh, man, yeah. X-Wings, dude. Just, the wings, and then, yeah. Just the thoughts of that shit, man. Even some of the old jets from Battlestar Galactica, things like that. But yeah, dude, holy shit, just the spacecraft in general. Just how do you get something that large built? How long does it take? We need a clone army. Yes, we need a clone army to get that shit done. Hey, we've got cloning going on. The whole shit. What was that the other day? Everybody thought Jamie Foxx was a clone, but he's got that movie or some shit like that. So, but yeah, man, space. Dude. Oh, Speaking of space, Strange New Worlds episode, they did the crossover episode with the Upper Deck, the characters, the cartoons. Dude, fucking awesome. Awesome. If you get a chance, watch it. Yeah, it's freaking dope. Love that show, man. Strange New Worlds, man. Pike. And oh my God. It was so funny because it was great, man. You have to watch it. I don't know if you guys watch that stuff. Strange New Worlds. It's a great series. It's on Paramount. It's phenomenal. I love it. And but yeah, every Thursday, they're on season 2 right now. But it is really, really good because a lot of it's like throwback to the old uniforms and shit like that. So it's pretty dope. But oh my God, man. Yeah, so many. Oh my God, the whole movie scene right now between Barbie and Oppenheimer, the all that shit, man. That movie is crazy, and I heard it's phenomenal. So I'm going to go check that out next week. So, oh man, maybe I'll do a little breakdown on that movie, but there's a couple guys out there who have already seen it and done some breakdowns on it, but it's supposed to be sick and really opens up your eyes and shit like that. So if you get a chance, but let me go back a little bit here. Hold on a second. So according to certain researchers and stuff like that, they believed that UFOs that were here or whatever crashed in the 50s were actually modified humans. Yeah, that it was all made up and fake. But there's some skeptics out there and conspiracies and shit on that shit, man. So, but I think there's an author out there, Annie Jacobson, put out a book, Area 51 or something like that. She talks about some shit like that from some really solid resources and things like that. So I got to read that book. I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, but I'm definitely going to jump on that one. But I mean, we're getting there, guys. I mean, we're getting to that point, where we're setting up craft into space all the time. We're shooting off tons of freaking satellites left and right. We got to be getting super close to the whole building of something in space to where it's bigger and better than the way the space station looks. You know what I mean? So, I mean, how cool, are they building pods here and then shooting the pods up and then connecting them? I mean, how the hell do they do that shit? Why can't we just build the shit in space? I know. Too much money on fuel. Everything's fuel. Everything's this. Everything's that. You know what I'm talking about. It's just crazy. Oh, man. What else is going on, people? But, yes, check out those links. Leave me a comment. Subscribe. Hit that bell on YouTube. Give me those ratings on that Spotify and those iTunes and wherever you listen to us at. But I deeply appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, rambling on and let me be myself. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, shoot me an email at everydaybs2023@gmail.com or leave me those comments. So, hey, once again, I love you guys. This is Everyday Bullshit.